Quick disclaimer, we are not investigative journalists. We simply read, watch, and listen to whatever we can to satisfy our curiosity while use this information to form our own personal opinions. Do not take this as investigative journalism. This is simply our own rabbit holes.
Hello, friends, and get ready. We're going to talk about the docs, the crimes, and all the people involved. This is Crime and Chill. Hey guys, I'm Victoria.
I'm Rachel.
How are you today, Rachel?
I'm living life. Countdown to Christmas is 15 days.
Woohoo! So excited.
Well, I guess when this airs it'll be less than 15, but hey, it's 15 right now.
It'll be 14 by the time this is out.
So happy Friday, peoples.
Happy Fridays. It means it's the weekend.
I mean, it doesn't mean much for me, but you know.
I mean, I don't care. So, you ready for some crime news?
Yeah.
Okay, so first up, we're going to talk Scott Peterson. He has been re-sentenced in the murder case of his wife and unborn child. He went from being on death row to life without the possibility of parole, and they are going to be trying for a new trial altogether.
As of right now, they're denying that.
As of right now, they are, and it's kind of annoying. We have talked about this case, so if you go back and look for our episode on Lacey Peterson, you'll hear a lot about this case and a lot of evidence that you might not have known about before.
I just watched an Amber Fry tell-all thing. I mean, I think I've seen it before, but I actually watched it this time. And that was pretty interesting to hear her side of it. It makes him sound even more guilty. So, who knows?
Who knows? We don't know.
I'm really fucking curious if he is or not. Can someone just tell the truth?
I mean, to me, if you're going to resentence him based on jury stuff, then he needs a new trial based on that.
Yeah, if the jury was tampered for life, death penalty, why are they not tampered for conviction?
Yeah, so I think that they should grant the new trial whether he's guilty or not, because you're telling me the jury was tampered with.
I mean, if he's guilty, he'd be found guilty again. What's the big deal?
Yeah. Second, let's talk about the shooting at Oxford High School in Oxford, Michigan. We have a 15-year-old new student named Ethan Crumbley who opened fire in his high school on November 30th. 4 people were killed and 6 to 7 are wounded. I keep seeing different numbers, so I'm unsure. He shot off a total of 30 rounds, and when police got him, he had 18 more rounds of ammo on him. And so he's facing 4 counts of murder, plus a lot of other charges. And now his parents, James and Jennifer, are being charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. And as of this morning, which is December 9th, the school district is facing 2 lawsuits from students that were wounded in the shooting, and they are citing that the school district did not do enough to protect its students.
I'm going to side with those parents. They should have had more action. So I say that with a grain of salt, because then I'm coming into, as a parent with school-age children, that anything that's a red flag now is going to be more of a red flag if it isn't a red flag type of thing. Like, my kid's into video games. Doesn't mean he's a fucking school shooter.
Right.
But he also doesn't play a lot of shooting games because he has no hand-eye coordination.
So the reason the school district is being sued is prior to the shooting, there was a teacher reporting that Ethan was looking up ammo stuff on his phone, and the teacher reported that. They couldn't get a hold of the mom, and the mom reportedly texted him saying, "You're not in trouble, I'm not mad, you just got to get better about not getting caught." And then the day of the shooting, there was a picture from Drew that another teacher found where he was pretty much drawing out shooting somebody. And they went to the office. She took a picture of that thing that he had drawn. By the time the picture got to the office,
it was changed. The parents came in. The school district did not force them to take him home. The parents did not take him home, and they did not search his backpack. And he had the gun and ammunition in his backpack. So that's why the school district's being sued, because they feel they did not do enough to protect the students. I kind of agree. You saw warning signs. He already had pretty much a kill list. You know what I mean? Like that, just because it didn't have names with the picture. To me, that would be red flags of we need a 72 hold on this kid. You know what I mean? That's not good. And it's not like school shooters or disturbed children was something new to the 21st century.
No.
Since 2000, okay? 330 children or students of some form or fashion, college or younger, as young as freaking 6 years old, have been involved in school shootings. A 6-year-old shot another 6-year-old, okay? This is something that's been an ongoing problem, documented and looked at as early as 2000. And I'm sure it's been looked at beforehand, but...
I mean, Columbine.
Well, yeah, exactly. But just in the last 21 years, 330 students have been killed.
On November 30th alone, so the day of the Oxford school shooting.
Yeah.
There was another school shooting that day.
Mm-hmm. And it's sad that the way we live now is when I hear about a school shooting, I'm not shocked. I'm just like, oh my God, another one? Like, it's not
so
shocking to me.
It's not shocking, but it's the more and more I hear, it's more devastating.
Yeah.
In the first month of my kids being back in school, there was 4 or 5 reported guns at school in North Carolina.
Jeez.
And now I'm watching like South Carolina's turn with how many guns are being brought into school.
Yeah.
I am a gun owner with multiple guns.
Mm-hmm.
My children do not have access to them.
No.
Unless they have my fingerprint or know the code that is very special in my mind.
Yeah.
They can't get to them. And if they ever figure out that code, they would have read my mind. Like, there's no other way they'd find this number.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with anybody.
And, this 15-year-old that did this shooting, he was gifted the gun. It was an early Christmas present.
What is a 15-year-old gifting a gun for that already obviously is unstable?
Yeah. I think there was a lot of warning signs missed beforehand, before even the school stuff that was involved, like the days prior. I feel like there had to be stuff that nobody was noticing.
Oh, they noticed. But instead of taking action, because teachers are inundated with bullshit, busy work, which is not their job to parent our kids, I get it. But you are spending more time with my child than I get to.
Yeah.
So I expect that if you see something, and I'm very grateful for Nick's teachers. We had an issue the last couple of weeks with football ending and just the reality of life without his favorite thing.
Yeah.
She immediately brought it to my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Is this something going on at home? What can we do to fix this? As soon as she gave me the date that it started, I knew exactly what it was and how to fix it.
Yeah.
If you don't take that initiative and if the teachers aren't speaking up, it's a conjoint effort.
It is. 100%.
The only fucking good thing Hillary Clinton has ever said is it takes a village, and it does.
Yep.
You are with my child 8 hours a day. I expect you to care for them and look at them the same way I would.
Yeah, because you're not in that field because you don't care.
Yeah.
Or because you don't like him.
And if
obviously
you
have some sort of sympathetic.
If the parents aren't making the initiative to help the student that you see struggling, you're mandatory reporters.
Yep.
Say something.
Yep.
What's the worst that's going to happen? The state's going to come in and check to make sure that child's okay? Well, fuck. They fuck up half the time anyway, so you might as well just give it a try.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. I really do think the school needs to be held just as much as accountable as those parents, though.
Yeah, looks like they might be. We got 2 lawsuits so far, and we have, other kids that were wounded or traumatized by this. We have a teacher that was grazed. There's a lot of people that can speak up and stand up.
Why aren't there school officers in school?
I mean, there is.
Not all the time. There's not always a police officer in a school. In inner city public schools, yes.
I mean, every time I go pick up my brothers from school, I see their resource officer
That's an
there.
inner city public school, though. But not all schools have that.
That's stupid. There should be.
And it's not only for the safety of the children, but a police officer is going to be guiding your child in a positive way.
Yeah.
And if they aren't, find another one to replace them.
Yep.
But like my school resource officer, he was very influential into how I perceived life as an adult. Mm-hmm. Not because I was in trouble, but because he was there when I wasn't in trouble.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they are beneficial. I don't think they're scary to have in school.
No, I don't think it is.
And if you think it's scary to have in school, then you obviously need to be more involved in your community to get those officers trained.
Yep. I agree. So, today is the start of a series, guys. It's going to be a 4-episode series. Rachel's very excited.
At this point, I can make it a whole fucking podcast. But
Rachel, what are we talking about? What's our series?
So, Alex Murdaugh. We're going to start this month-long series that revolves corruption, cover-up, curious or suspicious deaths. I just wanted to go with the C, so we went with curious. That have occurred in South Carolina low country. All of the stories that we're talking about over the next couple weeks are all ongoing. So things are constantly changing. New rumors are started. They are keeping this very tight-lipped. Mm-hmm. And we're going to go find out why. So we're going to start where the story started, where it became world news. This is where all the chaos has been dropped. If you've not heard the Murdaugh name, I'm going to assume that you've never watched the national news lately. You're not in South Carolina, as the name has been blasted. Not only national news, but now I've seen UK news picking this up in the last 6 months. So,
damn.
Yeah. So the Murdaugh family lives on the South Carolina coast, and they are very much involved in the legal system for District 14 Circuit, but mainly in Hampton, Carleton, and Beaufort counties. Their family tree, I'm pretty sure I still have it saved. It came from another podcaster, so I'm going to try to get that for you guys. But this family tree and everybody that intertwines, it is ridiculous. Like, you wouldn't believe some of the people who are involved. Yeah, you're not going to believe it. Now, the 4 people that we're going to talk about today, I kind of want to go over them. Alex Murdaugh is the husband and father husband to Maggie Murdaugh. And Maggie is the wife or mother for Paul Murdaugh, who is the youngest son. And Richard, better known as Buster, is the oldest son. Okay? Mm-hmm. So Alex Murdaugh was once a renowned attorney for personal injury. He was also a volunteer prosecutor for the South Carolina law districts. His family has been involved in the judicial system since the early 1900s. So
it's a long ass time.
Yeah. His family has served the 14th Circuit judicial system, and his great-grandfather was the first ever elected solicitor. His name was Randolph Murdaugh Sr. in 1920.
So I feel like because other people I've talked to about this case, we should explain what a solicitor is in a solicitor's office, because apparently other people don't have that, and I was not aware until you pointed that out to me.
Yep.
So Rachel, what's a solicitor? What's a solicitor's office do?
A solicitor in South Carolina, which is actually an English term. We don't use it very often here. There's only a couple states, but they are the chief in law of that district. In other states, it would be called a district attorney. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of power. And then a prosecutor is like the worker bees for the solicitor. So the solicitor is like the main person in charge, and then he has other attorneys known as prosecutors that would help charge cases.
So if you hear us say solicitor, put that in
He's
interchangeable with district attorney.
Yep, the boss is the district attorney or the solicitor, and then the prosecutor are the worker bees, and the prosecutors everywhere. So we can see that a person of this status would be very dramatic when they hit the headlines.
Very.
On June 7th of 2021, Alex Murdaugh made a 911 call reporting that he just came home to find the bodies of his wife and youngest son, Paul, and Maggie, shot multiple times on their property. I mean, okay.
That's a lot.
Now, let me tell you a little bit about this property, because once you hear about it, you're going to understand why you can tell it's not a random attack. Their property is in Islandton, which is a very, very small, itty-bitty town that nobody's ever heard of until this, on the South Carolina coast in Carleton County.
Yeah, unless you're from the coast, you don't know where half of this shit is.
Yeah, I don't know where Islandton is. I know where Carleton County is, but I don't know where this itty-bitty town is. They lived on a 1,700-acre property, with the houses not visible from the road. It looks like a wooded street. I've Googled mapped it up and down, just looking around to see, like, would somebody be lurking in the shadows? Yes, I guess somebody could be lurking in the shadows, but you have to know that the house is there.
Yeah, unless you know the house is there, you're not going to be like, oh, that's a property. No, because it doesn't fucking look like one.
Well, and not even that. If you're lurking in the shadows and you're a stranger, you're probably going to break into the 2-story $1 million mansion that is on this and not just murder somebody.
Yep.
So he gets to and it is a hunting club. So it's a big hunting grounds. There's dog kennels. So the dog kennels were for hunting as well as for breeding. And I know everyone's going to be very concerned. All of the dogs were okay in the shooting.
They were.
That's
not the first thing I checked.
None of the dogs were injured. You could hear them on the 911 call with Paul. And all of them have been rehomed. So the hunting dogs have been rehomed to different hunting properties. And the breeding dogs have been distributed and done with as they do.
Yep.
I thought of it like a puppy mill, but the family says that they're of high pedigree, they're well taken care of.
Yeah, no, so in the South, it's really, really common in that area for hunt clubs that their dogs are being bred like that because they're specifically for hunting.
Yeah, they're not just like my pet dog that jumps on Victoria and sleeps on my couch all day.
Yeah, it's different. They are very well humanely treated. Everything is fine. It is not a puppy mill for anybody concerned. I understand why you would be.
My dad had a hunting dog that was well loved, but we didn't keep it like you only live outside in this kennel. But I've seen pictures of the kennel, and it was very beautiful.
Yeah, it's very, very nice.
Luxury for a dog.
You guys know, when it comes to dogs, I'm all about it. I'm triple checking everything. These dogs were treated very well, and especially, like I said, in the South with hunting dogs, they are treated like gold.
So let's jump into this unsolved murder and these homicides and how little information has been leaked. They claim that there is no threat to the public. How do they know this? But they've also not listed any suspects, just persons of interest. On the evening of June 7th, Alex was at his mother's home, who is suffering from dementia. When I first heard this, I thought, how is that a fucking alibi? She has a 24-hour nurse that was there at the time that he was there. It was collaborated. He was there at the time. It's also been reported that he saw his father at the hospital that day. That is not true. His brother did.
Yeah.
He did not. So the 24-hour nurse confirms that he was there. It confirms what time he left. SLED, which is South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, it is like our state policing. They handle the crazy cases.
Yep.
Kind of like the GBI in Georgia. I don't know what North Carolina's is. I know what GBI is. Anyways, SLED announced at the time of death was 9:30.
Okay.
Alex made the 911 call at 10:07. This means within the course of 30 minutes, this person or people shot both wife and son multiple times with different weapons.
That's to me the interesting part, that it's different weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, murder, obviously sad, everything, but the fact that it was same property, same time, murder, 2 different weapons.
And they were not next to each other. So Maggie was a distance away from Paul. Mm-hmm. But it's never been reported of who died first.
Right.
It's never been reported who shot first. And people ask, well, how come they didn't hear the gunshots going off and the dogs barking? Okay, they're out in the middle of fucking nowhere on a hunter ground where gunshots are going off all the time and dogs are barking all the time. It wouldn't be suspicious.
Nope.
And it's at 9:30 at night in June on the coast. It's still dusk. Like, there's still...
Yeah, there's still enough light that you could realistically still be out hunting.
Yeah, there's not like you're in the dark. I don't know about realistically hunting, but maybe target practice.
Yeah.
Or something. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a hunter. My dad is. We can confirm with him. Since the initial attack, though, there's been a lot released about everything other than this case.
Yep. Everything else that's intertwined with it, we got a lot of information. The murder of Maggie and Paul, we got nothing.
And it's hardly been talked about.
Yeah.
We're going to go over what kind of people both of those were in just a minute, but this is all that has been released since the homicide, double homicide. Oh, this is it. I can fit it on one page. Ready?
Ready.
All right. So, shot multiple times, different weapons. Okay? Paul's death certificate says he died from wounds from a shotgun, while sources close to the investigation says Mary was shot with a rifle.
Maggie.
Yeah, what did I say?
Mary.
Oh, I'm literally looking at the word Maggie. Anyways, Maggie was shot with a rifle. I did look it up to see the difference. The difference is minute, in my opinion. I'm, again, not a hunter like that, so a shotgun is going to give, like, sprayed bullets.
Yep.
While a rifle normally doesn't, depending on what type of bullet you put in there.
Right.
Alex calls 911 at 10:07. Again, when we said homicide was supposedly happened at 9:30. That's when their bodies are considered dead.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that they weren't there beforehand.
Right.
But their bodies were considered deceased at around 9:30. Maggie's cell phone is found on the side of the road outside of the property. Paul's phone is found near his body. How was he not able to dial 911 if it was right next to him, if he wasn't the one killed first? But we don't know if he was the one killed first or not.
Right.
So, but he had his phone. So if something was suspicious as a 20-year-old kid, we know on our iPhones, or any of them, I think that all of them do it, there's an emergency button.
Yep. I have an Android. There is an emergency
button. So maybe he didn't feel a threat. There's been a lot of speculation about cars removed from the property. A 2021 black Chevy Suburban, which is like my dream car, was towed from the crime scene the next morning. Mm-hmm. It was impounded at Carleton County Sheriff's Department. I believe it's still there at this point. A 2019 Silverado was at the scene, but it was not towed. Both of them are registered to the law firm. Alex Murdaugh did originally, before all this went down, work for a very large law firm that was a family law firm.
Yep.
And there was one in Hampton and one in Carleton. Looking at pictures, this law firm didn't belong where it was. It is very extravagant, and this is a very old school neighborhood.
It is fancy.
Very fancy. Duffy Stone is the 14th Circuit solicitor at the time of these murders.
Yep.
He is the first non-Murdaugh to hold that position since 1920 when the position was created.
Which is insanity.
You know? He did not recuse himself, though, from this until August 11th.
It's a long time
from
to not
June
recuse
7th
yourself.
to August 11th, knowing the family very well, did not recuse himself. He does end up recusing himself, and the state attorney general's office decides that they will be handling the prosecution. Here's what I find interesting. I mean, I find a lot of it interesting, but the $100,000 reward. So the Murdaugh family, Alex and Buster, who the 2 remaining immediate families.
Yep.
They posed a $100,000 reward for information regarding to these murders.
Yep.
But it ended in September. So from June 7th, which I don't even think they announced it till like June 10th or something.
I think that's right, yeah.
Till the end of September, there was a $100,000 reward. The spokesperson from this family at the end of that said they were disappointed that no one stepped forward, but didn't extend the time.
To me, if my family members were murdered, that would not be an ending. There would not be an ending to that.
You know? Like, what's the end game here? What, did you do it knowing that no one was going to step forward, but you wanted to have it to look like you cared?
Yeah.
Or did you know the rest was coming and you wouldn't have the money for that reward?
Who knows?
The day after the murders, the police go and search Paul Murdaugh's apartment at USC where he's a student. The door is found ajar, but nothing else seems to be suspicious. But why is his apartment door open?
Yeah.
And they took at least one computer in the search. Okay, you know that this is a student. You know this is a student who doesn't live here primarily. That he's involved in other things, as we will get into.
Yeah.
Why didn't somebody the night of the shooting, I mean, I know it's 10 o'clock at night, but why didn't somebody call Columbia and be like, hey, we've got one of your students dead here, please go check his apartment?
Yeah, that's what they should have done, 100%. Why did they wait till the next day?
Yeah, what could have happened in that time? Or did whoever did the murders
go to the apartment first?
Yeah.
Also, I've seen a lot of questions of, like, was there anything missing from the house? Not that I've seen. There was nothing missing from the house.
Nothing has been reported from the house. There was supposedly no forced entry into the house. Nothing.
Yeah.
So, I think that's why the police think that there's no attack. Like, what's it called? No threat.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like a robbery gone bad or something.
Right.
This was a direct attack.
Yeah. 100%. That's not a question of if it was a direct attack or if it was a robbery. It's 100% a direct attack, and there's no question in my mind that that's what happened.
Why are we keeping it so quiet, though? Like, we've blasted so much about this case, or maybe I've just dug so deep that I'm finding so much.
Yeah.
But the homicide.
If everything else is being blasted about everything else with this fucking case and everything else going on in this family, why are we not talking about the murders? Or do you not have any information? What's going on?
I think there's no information.
I think there is.
I think they only have one person of interest, and the only reason he's a person of interest is because everything that's happened since this.
Yes.
I don't think he would have ever been a person of interest if everything else he didn't happen.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if he really should be a person of interest. Did he pay somebody to kill his wife and kid? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I mean, if he did, holy shit, are you fucked up?
Yeah.
Because you played me hard. Like, everything else that has been opened up, like, I understand. I can see it. I can understand how it got to this.
Yeah.
What was the end game of shooting your wife and kid? Besides that it caused you a bunch of other problems, other than the possible attempt for, paying someone for murder.
I mean, there's been, like, reports that I read. I haven't like, isolated the 911 call like that, but there's some people that said they did, and saying that you can hear Alec while he's on the phone with the 911 operator saying, damn it, Paul, I told you not to get involved. I don't know if that's true or not.
I mean, I've listened to it so many times. I don't see that that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
A lot of people got upset about the way he speaks to the 911 operator. He's very polite, but we live in the South. He's grown up in the South.
We talk a certain way here.
Yeah, it's not like the ma'am, and like in New Jersey when you call somebody ma'am, it's usually when you're being rude.
Yeah.
It's not.
Versus here, it's respectful.
Yeah, and like even when I say it now, like I have to catch myself, like ma'am, kind of thing, and I'm like, wait, that's not the right way here, you know. But
no, we say yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir, and it's a respectful. It's not us being disrespectful or anything like that.
And no,
so the way from what I have heard of the 911 call, that's just how we talk.
Yeah, I don't think anything he said on that 911 call was suspicious to me. It sounds more of in shock. He's on the phone with them for a very long time,
right,
waiting for police because their house is so far out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And he asked to get off the phone so he can call his brother. Okay, I probably wouldn't call him. Well, maybe I'd call my brother. I'd probably call somebody. I wouldn't want to be on the phone with 911.
No. If you already can tell they are dead, there's nothing you're going to be able to fucking do.
Yep.
You're going to want somebody else there.
And there's more 911 calls we're going to get into that are different than this case.
Yeah.
But his 911 call, to me, sounds like he answered every question he could possibly answer. There's nothing he can do for his dead loved ones. He wants the comfort of his brother. Or he wants his brother to start doing damage control. Either one, I don't know. But
again, they're both attorneys.
Yeah, both attorneys. I mean, who knows? That's all we have.
Yeah.
That's it. But a lot has come out of these double homicides. Not dealing with these double homicides.
Yeah.
Alex Murdaugh is now facing 30 criminal charges as of this recording. There's probably more coming. 30 criminal charges not related to the death. They've also opened 2 other cases involving death. And we're going to go over each one individually in the coming weeks. But I want you guys to have the opportunity to have that rabbit hole dug deep so that you're ready. Because, you know, I talk fast and things are crazy. While investigating the double homicides, they reopened a 2015, supposedly it was a hit and run, but now they think otherwise, of Stephen Smith. Mm-hmm. The slip and fall case of their housekeeper / nanny person. Her name is Gloria Satterfield in 2018. And that 911 call was just released a week or so ago.
Yeah.
Wasn't long. There's ongoing investigation and charges, or there was an ongoing investigation and charges pending for Paul at the time of his death, dealing with a boating accident from 2019 when he allegedly is operating a boat that kills 19-year-old Mallory Beach.
There's so much that's going to intertwine, and it's going to get insane, and we're going to do our very best to keep it straight.
And I have collected and put in the information so that they don't intertwine as much.
Yeah.
Today's episode is going to be the most intertwining.
Yeah.
With those 30 criminal charges, Alex Murdaugh has his own attorney. His name is Dick Harpootlian. He was the prosecutor for Pee Wee Gaskin.
Also, fun fact, I'm related to Pee Wee Gaskins.
And fun fact, he is playing very dirty in this.
We'll talk about Pee Wee Gaskins at some point, because that's an interesting case, honestly.
Yeah, and this attorney is very interesting in the way he promotes himself.
Yup.
And so there's this little interesting fact about that.
It does come into play later, we promise. There's a point to bringing all this up, but it's also just stating, like, how influential he is.
Exactly. How deep this man is. And the fact that you are this well involved and we don't have... Like, you would think a person of this nature would be top of the line. We're going to find out who killed your wife and son.
Yep.
So that leads me to believe is they really do know. But a lot of people are asking, well, why isn't the FBI involved? Well, the FBI is not going to get involved until the state does all their work first.
Yep.
They want a pretty bow ready to go.
Yep.
I know they are involved with some of his personal charges dealing with money.
Because that's just how it goes.
But again, they waited till the state did all of their work and started blasting that information before they stepped in with that.
And we also know that from other cases we've talked about, if the FBI is involved, the state can also just shut down and not give them shit. The county can shut down and not give them shit. They can tell them they don't need them involved.
The FBI is invited. They don't get to just walk in.
Yeah, so that's another reason they're not involved. The state has not invited them into the murders of Paul and Maggie. Until they are invited, you can't do it.
Dick Harpootlian wants this to be a very closed, quiet case. It's not going to be.
No.
The attorney for Gloria Satterfield is making sure that is well known. And you know what? His name is Eric Bland. And I've never seen what he looks like because I don't watch actual TV. I just listen to him on other shit that he does. Would never know this man is 59 years old, but he sounds sexy, okay? Like, just the way he litigates, I'm like, damn, dude. Like, you can come charge me with something. Like, let's figure it out. I don't know what he looks like. I have no idea what he looks like. I never wanted to look, especially after I heard that he was 59 years old, and he was, like, daring Dick Harpootlian to, like, come after him. Like, fuck you, dude, I got this. But then he was like, I'm 59 years old. I'm not scared of you. I'm not a brand new attorney. And I was like, you're 59? You're as old as my dad, dude. Like, I'm sitting here, like...
drooling over the way you're speaking.
over what we can do here, and then I find that out. So, yeah, that was
I mean, ain't nothing but a number. Two people are legal consenting adults, yo.
A little bit about Maggie. Maggie gets lost in all of this.
She does.
She isn't Maggie isn't the spotlight like Alex and the boys are.
Yeah.
She lives a very southern homemaker wife life. She dotes on her kids, looking at like her Facebook is still public. Mm-hmm. Almost to a fault. Like, she spoiled her kids to the point of a fault. A lot of people talk about how rude Paul was to her.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But at the same time, that's what she
made.
You know what I mean? Like, she made him dependent like that.
Also, just quick, if you're one of the assholes going to her Facebook page that's still public and, like, commenting shit, stop it!
Yeah.
Leave her alone!
Her family, like, not the Murdaugh side, and to be honest, I don't have a problem with the whole Murdaugh family, but, like, her family doesn't deserve that. Why are they keeping so quiet? I don't know. Why was there no memorial for this woman who was constantly giving back to the community and, like, organized food drives and, you know, helped the homeless, and deep down she was a good person.
Yeah.
Also, going on about supposedly she was visiting a divorce attorney 6 weeks to her death. Until we have proof of that, and I want a signed contract with an attorney, why are we bringing this up?
I mean, because they're trying to place it on Alec.
Why are we swaying the police officers? It's bad enough they get swayed on their own.
Yeah.
Let's not put lies.
This is a small fucking town,
well, they have transferred it over to the state.
Thank God.
Yeah, the sheriff's office in that area is not handling the homicide.
Because there's no way they could.
No, they don't have the resources.
Also,
There's just because of the involvement with the family. There's no way they could.
No. Let's bring light to the things that Alex has done. And I'm sure between now and next week, you guys will have a shit ton that you find out. And if you don't, you are not true rabbit holers. Okay? Because I may have heard the Mallory Beach name quickly back in 2019 when it happened. Mm-hmm. But I was never, like, rabbit holing down the Murdaugh family. To me, they were just another influential...
good old boy system Southern family.
Which, hate to fucking break it to you, if you don't want to be into that system, you don't want to see long-term successes. Okay? Like, being into those type of things bring you a lot more. You don't have to be a bad person.
No.
To have a network like that.
No. That being, like, the good boy system gets, like, you know, a bad rap. But that doesn't mean, like, you're out here fucking committing crimes. It just means that everybody's connected, everybody knows everybody, and you're going to get higher up because you know everybody.
As a person as an attorney, he's an attorney where he's going to market off of who he is. You know what? Everybody could sell the same service.
Yep.
But being into that type of field where you're selling the same service as everyone else, I can see benefits of placing yourself within that type of circle.
Yep.
Doesn't mean you're hiding shit.
No.
It's just who you know. Mm-hmm. But that good old boy system is falling quickly.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Like we didn't even get a chance to get involved.
I know. I was very disappointed.
Bullshit.
Very disappointed. But again, we live in the upstate. This is, you know, a whole other world away when you think of the different type of lifestyles.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have an opportunity. But I'm not going to be going out doing what Alex has done.
No.
Paul was, again, facing those charges. We're going to go over the whole boating accident in gross detail. But Paul wasn't the nicest man. And
I have not heard anything super nice about him.
It's a shame because he had the world of opportunities. And people who don't see for what that is, that your family has built you an empire.
Yep.
And all you have to do is
ride on that name.
And be nice. But now you have, between Paul and Alex, they ruined it.
Yeah.
Like, if you go to PMPED, which is, or I think I said too many letters, but if you go to his website, their website for their attorney, their firm, there's an apology letter to the fucking public over one man.
That's insane.
And his brother still works for this law firm. It's his family's law firm.
Yeah.
And you've ruined it. That's so sad.
You ruined all this shit that your family
worked really, and like people are like, oh, that's old money. No, I researched it.
Yeah.
That old money from the 1940 train accident, that was gone. Everybody after great-grandfather worked to get to where they are.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, I put in the work, I could deserve the honor of it. It's not old money. It's
no.
hard-earned money.
It's not old money, but it is old family name. Does that help them?
Yep.
Hell yes.
But you still did the work to get to use that name.
Yeah, you don't just go to fucking law school.
Yeah, you don't just go to fucking law school and become a high-end attorney. But Paul did not see it for what it was worth.
No.
I personally would.
Hell yeah.
But I've always been taught to never take shit for granted, so...
Yeah.
Who knows? I think that's where we're going to wrap up the double homicide. Because honestly, there's no more about the homicide.
No, there's not, unfortunately. I wish there was, because I want more information. But maybe, you never know. Like we said, everything's changing with this...
Literally every day.
Yeah, every fucking day there's something else coming out. You never know. We might get more information by the time you're done with this series, and we might have a fucking update for you guys on the double murder.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to get solved.
I don't think it's going to get solved either.
Unless Alex actually knows who did it. And, well, I guess before we end, we can kind of talk about some of the things that Alex is being charged with.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
We're going to skip part of it because that's juicy and that needs to go in detail.
Yep.
One of the things, though, is a drug addiction. A drug addiction that has led to millions of dollars going missing.
Which I have questions about this drug addiction, quote unquote.
Yeah. I also can see the clusterfuck of appeals coming. Remember, he's an assistant prosecutor.
Yep.
I'm not assistant. He's a volunteer prosecutor. So how many cases did he work on and he prosecute on that are now going to be trying to appeal this?
Based on this quote-unquote drug addiction.
Yep.
This just started a huge shitstorm in South Carolina. I guarantee the court system's about to get fucking insane.
Yeah.
As if it's not already enough.
The connection to the cowboy gang, which I've looked up out of the Beaufort, Charleston, Low Country area. Who the fuck named them the Cowboys? Like, can we just put any more redneck neck on us? I'm in a gang called the Cowboys in South Carolina.
Okay, first of all, the Low Country is worlds away different from the upstate Rachel.
Why the fuck would they think of that name?
Especially in the backwoods where this was.
I know, but why would you think of that name? I mean, it's better than Crips or Bloods, I guess, but...
I mean, I wanted it to be Outlaws really bad.
You know, that would be better, but calling yourselves the Cowboys, and the way that they're tracing, like, so right now, a lot of those charges that Alex is facing is due to money issues. Mm-hmm. The way that they're tracing or claiming that he's involved with the Cowboys is through check cashing and drug addiction. Did he not make a payment?
Ooh.
And is that when we're going to find out what happened in the homicide?
Maybe.
But that's the only thing I can think of. If he didn't pay to have his kid and wife murdered, and the Beach family did not have the resources, I've already looked into that.
No, they did not. That was the first thing everybody thought was the Beach family, and
Yep.
Maggie just got in the way.
Yep. Stephen Smith's mother never had evidence that the Murdaugh family was ever involved. Mm-hmm. It was just constantly brought up, but never investigated.
Yeah.
Gloria Satterfield's family didn't even know what was going on with their case. Had no idea that the case was already ended and they never received the payment.
Yeah.
Which we're going to go into detail with.
So, I mean, that rolls out a lot of the connections right there.
Yeah.
So, we already know it's not any of that.
But we already know that they are investigating because all of that, the Stephen Smith case, the Gloria Satterfield, those were both reopened because of the double homicide.
Yep.
So, they are investigating. It's just they're not saying. Pertaining to Maggie and Paul, they're just saying everything else.
Yeah.
Smoke and mirrors here.
Which I'm wondering if they're speaking more about these other cases because they were closed and reopened. Is that why they're speaking more on them? Versus this is still a full-blown open investigation? Or is it because there's more people involved in these other cases that are speaking, and maybe that's how the information's getting out?
I know a lot of FOIA has been issued. I mean, a lot.
Yeah.
Especially in the two older cases, Gloria Satterfield and Stephen Smith. But I don't think it's because they were reopened. I think it's because they're trying to keep face on the double homicide.
Yeah.
They want to keep that quiet until they know.
Yeah.
They know something's wrong, but they don't know what yet.
Right.
So whatever they found on the property that connected Stephen Smith's case to the Murdaugh family, I think that had to be released because it was a closed case. It was done.
Yeah.
Death certificate says hit and run.
Yep.
It was it. It was done and over with. Gloria Satterfield, her death certificate is way fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
And I think, again, they had to announce that they were reopening or looking into it because it was all closed, done, and said.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The fishiness smells like a prostitute's house right now over here. Like, I don't know. All I know is I'm spending way too many hours looking into the Murdaugh family that I don't know. I do know, though, that her oldest son, Buster, is going back to college in the spring or fall. I don't remember. I think it's spring now. And it is in the upstate. And he has been in the upstate.
Hey, Buster. What's up?
And he has very orange hair.
We're in the upstate, Buster. If you hear this.
You know, we could talk.
He's
He's not talking.
I mean, I don't blame you. I wouldn't talk either.
He's not talking, and he has no money right now because it's all held up in, the courts.
Yeah.
So I wonder how cushion life feels going from a full cushion to a pop cushion. But I don't want to bother. I don't see anything Buster has done unless he is connected to Stephen Smith. Other than that, the worst thing he did was give his brother his license, and we don't even know if he actually gave his brother his license
or if the brother stole it.
Took it. Like, I see Nick and Eli take shit from each other all the time.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
And especially if, you and your brother look close enough to pass.
Oh, yeah.
And your brother's over the age of 21, which the smoking and drinking age in South Carolina is 21.
The smoking is?
Yeah, smoking is 21. They raised it to 21, last year, I think.
Anyways, I'm over 21. I'm good.
I mean, yeah, I didn't care. I think it might be national that they made that. But
I know Jersey did at one point because my brother was of legal smoking age, and then the next morning he wasn't, and his wife had to go get cigarettes. Yeah, I don't know. But all I know is I'm smoking way too many cigarettes with this shit. If you want, there are tons of quiet investigators. I know Fitz News has literally been researching about this family since 2019. And her podcast is fucking spot on.
Yeah.
I don't know Eric Bland. I can't get Eric Bland on the phone. I wonder if I call him and ask him for a comment, will he make a comment?
We should try.
We have a podcast, and I'm just in love with you, and I would love for you to make a comment on my podcast. Would you do that? I have a lot more we can go into.
But I think for today we need to wrap it.
Because their minds are already spinning.
Yep. So, like we said, this is going to be a 4-part series. This is part 1 of 4.
Buckle up.
Buckle up, buttercups. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
So, roller coaster that you don't ever want to be involved in, but you want to read about. It's like a train wreck. You just got to keep watching. Ha! Train wreck. Murdoch. No, it's not funny. Anyways.
Jesus Christ. Rachel. That was dark.
It was dark.
All right. Well, So we're wrapping it, and we will see you guys next week. Be sure to follow us on social media under the name Crime and Chill on Facebook, Tickety Talk, Twitter, and Instagram. Get updates about podcasts. Join our group Crime and Chill fam on Facebook to talk crime with us. So we'd love to hear more thoughts about this case. We always want to hear thoughts, but this one's getting dirty. So, anything else to add, Rachel?
No.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. We will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.